sense one day, Delphie, Madame Zaza said with a smile. Maybe sooner than you imagine. And with that she left the room. Delphie sighed, restarted the music, and went back to the centre to try again. But even the very first run felt wrong and stiff as she tried to think about her feet, arms and head all at once. She broke off with a groan and went to stop the music before glancing at the clock on the wall. It was nearly time to go. Her mum and dad would be home from work. With a sigh, Delphie went over to the wooden bar that ran around the edge of the room and began to do some slow stretching exercises. She was just finishing when the door opened. Delphie looked round, expecting to see Madame Zaza again, but in her place stood Suki Taylor. Delphie's heart sank. She was in Delphie's ballet class and was very, very good at ballet, but she didn't seem to like Delphie at all. Suki looked surprised to see her. "Oh, hi, I left something." She picked up a pink cardigan from the back of the chair and switched off the music. "What are you doing here?" Delphie shrugged. "Just practising." "For the auditions?" Suki's eyes narrowed. "Well, you won't have a chance. You've only been coming to the classes for 3 weeks, and Madame Zaza has pretty much said that I'm going to be the bluebird. Everyone knows I'm the best dancer in the class." Delphie swallowed. Just ignore her, she told herself. She didn't want to get into an argument. "You never know," Suki went on. "Maybe if you try hard enough, you'll get to be a rabbit or something." Delphie watched as Suki smirked and flounced out. Then Delphie pulled her face. Suki might think she didn't have a chance, but no one would know until the actual auditions. I might be the bluebird, Delphie thought hopefully. She crossed her fingers. Oh, she so hoped she would be. But first, she just needed to get the dance right. Chapter 2. A Noise in the Night. "Mum, come and see this bit," Delphie called after supper. She was sitting on the sofa, her feet curled under her, watching the ballet of Cinderella. She had been given the DVD for her birthday. It was her favourite scene, where the fairy godmother changed the pumpkin and mice into a coach and horses, and then transformed Cinderella from a servant girl in rags into a beautiful princess. Mrs. Durand came through the lounge and sat down beside Delphie on the sofa. "Maybe one day you'll be able to dance like that," she said, stroking Delphie's long brown hair. "Wouldn't that be wonderful?" Delphie snuggled up to her mum. "Oh, yes," she breathed. There was nothing she wanted more in the world. At bedtime, Delphie kissed her mum and dad goodnight and went upstairs. As she got into her nightdress, she looked hopefully at her red ballet shoes sitting on her desk. "Please sparkle tonight," she willed them. "Please." But they looked as still as ever, just as they had every other night that week. Every evening she had lain in her bed willing the shoes to glow, hoping to hear the music in the air, just like she had the first time they had taken her to Enchantia. It would be just so amazing to go back, Delphie thought as she got into her bed after brushing her teeth and hair. I'd love to see Sugar the Sugar Plum Fairy again, and all the other people I met, like the Nutcracker, and the waltzing flowers, and the dancing snowflakes. She shivered as the image of the rat's face with red eyes, long whiskers, and sharp teeth popped into her brain. The one person she wouldn't want to see again was the evil King Rat. He hated dancing and was always trying to stop it. Delphie had been to his castle and met him and his mouse guards, and it had been very scary. To try and stop thinking about it, Delphie focused on the audition the next day. She began to go through the steps of the dance in her mind, practising them over and over again, and before she knew it, she was drifting off to sleep. Delphie's eyes blinked open. She felt sure that something had woken her. Sitting up, she glanced at her bedside clock. It was just past midnight. Suddenly, she heard a faint noise. Music! As she listened, it grew louder. Delphie looked at her desk. Her red ballet shoes were glittering and shining like rubies. Throwing back her duvet, she jumped out of bed and ran over to them. Did this mean another adventure was about to begin? Delphie picked them up, her fingers trembling in excitement. The first time she had gone to Enchantia, the shoes had whisked her off to a theatre. Delphie tied the ribbons of the shoes.